We continue our series looking at Jim Bowden's gradings for the Major League Baseball trading season for each team across Major League Baseball. Today, the division that we're analyzing is the American League West. So, let's get into it. What's going on, baseball fans? Jeremy Laracuente here for the Baseball Banter Broadcast. And as I said in the open, today we're looking at the American League West division. And we begin with the Seattle Mariners. Jim Bowden would give the Mariners a grading of an A overall, and I tend to agree with him. Being able to pick up an ace like Luis Castillo is absolutely monumental. This is a team that is going through the longest postseason drought of any of the four North American sports leagues. 21 years since the Seattle Mariners have been to the postseason. Being able to acquire Luis Castillo in conjunction with signing Robbie Ray this offseason gives the Mariners a dynamic 1-2 punch. And then you filter out the rest of their roster for a potential wild card series. I think when you look at Seattle, this is absolutely the year. So it makes a ton of sense why Seattle would go big and spend 3 of their top 5 prospects to bring in a guy like Luis Castillo. Add in the fact that this isn't just a 1-year rental for Castillo, and this is an absolutely brilliant move by Jerry Dipoto in Seattle. Dipoto has made a ton of moves all the time. This is a coined phrase that I have for him, is a vitamin GM with a one-a-day trade. He has since kind of relaxed on that since taking over the job. But when we look at what this move is, this is the type of move that you build your franchise around, and Jerry is going all in with the Seattle Mariners. So the overall grading of an A to me also stands, and I believe that there is a lot to like about the Seattle Mariners squad. Yes, injuries to Ty France and Julio Rodriguez are playing very, very big right now, but getting back both of these players is really going to help this team flourish in the long run. Now, the next team on the list is the Houston Astros. Bowden would give the Astros an A- grading, and I have to agree. I think that there was more to be done by the Houston Astros, which is why it's not completely over the top. But when you look at what they're able to do now with this team, I think that the move to bring in Christian Vazquez absolutely helped them. This is a player who can be an upgrade offensively to what they have with Martin Maldonado without losing what he provides defensively. Christian Vazquez isn't going to be quite on the same level, but he's about a half step down in my opinion. I think this is a very good move for Houston. Now, could they have added more to the pitching side of things? Yes. Could they have brought in a better, more offensively minded center fielder? Yes. But I think that there's a lot to like about the Houston Astros team if you're a fan of the Astros going into a postseason run. Right now, they're going to be arguably the second best team in terms of record in that American League division. So when you look at what this team is going to be facing in the postseason, obviously as the perennial favorites, as the team that has been there most recently, most often, they're the team to beat when it comes to postseason. So an overall grading of an A- is a very good move and a very good grading, in my opinion, from Jim Bowden. But if I had to choose my own grading, it would probably be more like a B. I think that there was still some moves to be made in terms of being able to truly boost their assets on the bullpen and in the starting rotation. Being able to bring in a guy like Will Smith is a very solid move, a very good move. Someone who is not just limited to left-handers, but to me, the Astros could have done a little bit more to solidify themselves going forward. But this is still going to be a powerhouse team in the postseason. Next up on the list is the Oakland A's. The Oakland A's would get an overall grading from Jim Bowden of a B. Now, this is a solid grading. Oakland is obviously going through a massive rebuild. They're going to be the worst team in the American League. But when you look at the players that they acquired back, the talent that they're receiving from the deals that they made, this is a very good move. I think when you look at what Oakland can be, we know what they are. They're a team that is going to build up young stars, develop them quite well, and lose them or trade them away. This is how the franchise has been run for its entire existence, essentially, in the modern era. And I think there's a lot to like about the players that they acquired back. Maybe more so quantity instead of quality, but there are some quality pieces that they received back. When you look at what Oakland can be over the next coming couple of seasons, if they allow these young players to play, to mature, to grow into their positions and grow into the league, this could be a very dynamic and fun team to watch in the very near future. Next up on the list is the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Jim Bowden would give them a grading of a C-. When you look at this team, I think that is a little bit of a generous offer. The Angels did a whole lot of nothing and talked about quite a bit. They would trade away some key players to their 2022 team in Brandon Marsh and Noah Syndergaard, but when you look at what they received back in return, I don't think that is enough for the future of this team, in the near future of this team. You have arguably two of the best players in the history of Major League Baseball in Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani. You have one of the perennial underrated talents in Anthony Rendon, and whenever he's not hurt, this is a MVP caliber dynamic player. But yes, injuries have played a big factor in the careers of Mike Trout and Anthony Rendon. Trout is dealing with a career chronic back issue and likely will start to limit what he is capable of doing. This is going to be an opportunity for the Angels to really try to figure out what they have going forward long term. What the moves that they did this season, however, are not going to help them do that. This was more of a debilitating season for trades in terms of the Los Angeles Angels. So a C- grading to me is a bit generous because I don't even really like some of the things that they received back in the deals that they made. Overall, a grading from me would probably be a D at best for the Los Angeles Angels. And lastly, we round out with the Texas Rangers. Now, the Rangers were pretty silent this season. I think when you look at what they were expected to be with the big contracts handed out to Marcus Semien and Corey Seager, this was a team that was looking and expecting to compete. However, as the season played out so far, they have not been that competitive of a team. Being able to acquire more for this team was not going to be a realistic target. So going into this season, the grading that Jim Bowden would give them for this trading season would be a D overall. I think that there is a very solid grade with that D. I think when you look at the Texas Rangers and what they were able to accomplish, it was not a whole lot. They weren't able to truly add for the future or try to pivot and acquire talent for this postseason run. They're not going to be even remotely close to that opportunity this year, and they did not solidify themselves going into the future. I think that there's a ton that you are expecting from this Rangers team, and they have faltered at every turn. This is going to be a very tough season coming up for the Texas Rangers in 2023 and beyond, in my opinion, and I don't know that they're going to be able to acquire enough talent to get themselves out of the hole that they've dug for nearly $500 million in Seager and Semien. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your thoughts, your feelings on this down in the comment section below. What gradings would you give to all of the American League West teams during this trading season of 2022? Now that the deadline has passed, where do you see the direction for each and every one of these teams? Let me know that down in the comment section below, or find me over on Twitter at JLaracuente19 to keep the conversation rolling. As always, keep it locked into the entire JLMG family with Weesibs, the Granny Geek Show, and of course here on the Baseball Banter Broadcast. For sticking around to this point, head over to baseballbanterbroadcast.com. Use the promo code BANTER to save 5% off your order. Keep it locked in all season long as I continue to bring you the gradings from Jim Bowden and my thoughts on each team in their trade season for the 2022 campaign, as well as the latest news, notes, and my personal thoughts, theories, and opinions on the game of Major League Baseball. Peace.